Okay, I've turned it back on, and my light is showing red. It's powered. Let's see. I want you to see. You see the bottom of my green? See, it's red. I think you can see that. I'm just having a hard time showing you. I think you can see that. See? Yeah. Okay, so now it's on right now. And so that was the right one. So I'm going to turn the breaker off again. And then, you know, even if you want to be more safe, you can turn the breaker off. You can put some masking tape over it and write off on it, keep off, or something like that. I've done it before where somebody walked around on the outside of the house. They popped the electrical panel cover open. They turned the breaker off. They kind of closed the electrical panel cover, but they didn't latch it. And some kids were playing out there, and somebody was messing around, and they thought, oh, hey, look, there's a breaker that's off, and somebody turned it back on while somebody was working inside the house, and they got shocked. You don't want anything like that happening, so be safe rather than sorry, okay? I'm going to turn that power back off, that breaker, and double check it again before I start working on this electrical GFI outlet. Now, here's another reason why I check it. You might think, why are you going to check it again, Joe? Just turn the breaker off and let's get on with it. Well, depending where your breaker is in your electrical panel, you might think, oh yeah, I know which one it is. It's the fourth one down on the left. Maybe it's the fifth one down on the left. Or maybe it is the fourth one down on the left. You go back in there and turn off the fifth one down on the left when you were supposed to turn the fourth one down on the left. And you start messing with this and you shock yourself. I've had that happen to myself before. Okay, I'm testing that, and it's off. It's off. I can see it on my green tester. Okay. So now I'm gonna, before I take this off, I'm just gonna look at it a little bit. Now see, that one, you see how this is facing up like that? And we're gonna look at this close. Looks like the top screws got this yellow thing on it, says attention. And let's see if you can see that. See, and that goes all the way around over to here. And you might think, what is that for? Now let's just look at our one, because usually what I do is I'll take this like for like, and if it's facing up like that, you might think, oh, okay, just take the bottom right hand screw off and the bottom left hand screw and put it on like for like. But see here, this is facing up. I want it facing up, and I know this is facing up because the wording, you can't really look at the wording here because the test is said reset there and test, and if you flip it up you can still see reset and test because it's written upside down. I mean, it's written right side up and right side up. There's two. I don't know why they do that, because you should know which side's right side up. Usually right side up is with the ground at the bottom like that. See, the ground's at the bottom over there. And so I'm going to call that right side up. That little hole, this one in particular, this little light will go on there when there's power on. This one doesn't happen to have it. But see, funny thing, here's my little yellow tag. See how it says attention, blah, blah, blah. Okay. That's there for a reason. Don't take that off unless you're going to hook this up in tandem with other things, meaning if you want everything down the line from here, anything that's wired, the next plug, the next plug, the next plug, then you'll have the power coming in, power going out, let's say. And the power coming in would go up here. The power going out to any other electrical outlets, you would take this plastic off, and then you would connect up these screws down here with the power going out to your other plugs. Then this GFI would protect all your other lines going downhill. If there were more, okay, then you wouldn't have to take out a regular electrical outlet over here, thinking, okay, I want this one GFI'd and the next one and the next one, and so I got to get 3 GFIs and hook them up. With not necessarily if they're in tandem on this same circuit, but they have to be after this one. It can't be before that one, because then that won't work. It's everything down the line from there. Do you see what I'm saying? And so when I look at this, that's on the bottom, right? So that tells me I've got to connect to these top screws, not the bottom screws. Okay, like this one. They just happen to do that one the very opposite. Do you see? So I'm going to connect my black to the gold screw, and the white to the silver screw. And usually the neutral side is always longer. That slot is always longer than the hot side. See that? Did you know that? And 20 amp usually has this little slot on the side. I find that kind of interesting, because even though this is in fact a 20 amp and I can see it over there, it doesn't have that little slot on the side. You don't need that to plug things in. A lot of times 20 amp electrical outlets have that slot nowadays. Okay, but on this particular one they didn't. That's okay. And I'll take these little mounting screws off of here. I won't even use those, obviously. I'll use the long ones, because the long ones hold this box in place too. Okay, and so here I've got my ground screw. I've got my white wire is going to go on this side, and my black wire is going to go over here. Okay, that's all I'm going to do with this. And on this one, that's going to be my next step. On this one, I see that there's actually a hole on the side. That's kind of slick, because see, the black wire goes into a little hole there on the outlet. Lots of them don't have that on the back. See, don't have that on the back. And I might be able to, you know, if that's a straight wire, I might be able to put just, you know, when this screw's loose, this will come out, and I can poke the black wire right in there. There's my little hole. I can call that my little hole right there. See, right there. I can put it there, or I can put it up there. I don't necessarily have to take the wire, strip the wire back, and then fold it around this screw, tighten it up, and all that. I could just do it back here, tighten it. When I tighten this side screw down, it's going to tighten down on that wire. And I can do that on both sides. Okay? So I'm ready to remove this plug. See, it's not going to be that hard, is it? Anybody can do this. You don't have to be an electrician for this, as long as you know how things work. And it's got the direction sheet in here and all kinds of stuff like that. And if as long as the power is off, you just take the wires off and rehook it up the same way you found it from before. And interestingly enough, most GFI outlets come with some little decals. And I pull this out of here. Look at that. See this? These are little decals. Good Lord. Look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 6 decals. I could peel these off. See how they peel off? That is for if you, and I'm going to save these, by the way. That is for, like I said, if you're hooking this up, and if you have some regular electrical outlets downstream from here, and you're going to hook it up that different way that I was telling you, and you want this to be GFI protected, this one to be GFI protected, this one to be GFI protected, on the cover plate, you would take one of these decals, and on the regular cover plate on your regular duplex electrical outlet, and over here, you just put that decal that says GFI protected, okay? And then somebody would know, okay, that's hooked up, and that is in fact a GFI protected outlet. And sometimes people forget to put those on. Other times they come off, or maybe somebody repaints all the house, and they take those cover plates off, and they forget where those cover plates go, or they take those decals off, and then the next person doesn't realize that those electrical outlets are GFI protected. Okay, there's ways to test that too, but that's not part of this particular video. Okay, all right, so I am ready to take this, to disconnect this now. That's my next step. Hey, step by step, you can do it too. And speaking of that, you know, if you hired an electrician to come out here and troubleshoot your existing GFI, and for him to install a new GFI, how much is that going to cost you? I mean, this thing was almost 20 bucks. You know, it's 18 something before tax. And then your time for the electrician to come out, his service call fee, and his hourly fee, and all that. It could be $125 bucks. You know, 20 bucks for the material, $100 trip charge, or $125 plus parts, $150. Electrician might charge you for this, or a little bit less. You know, hey, you might want to watch this video, and your next one, it's going to be free labor, because you're going to be doing it. All you got to do is buy this. Such a deal.